Hey everybody, welcome to this episode of the Disc Golf Answer Man. I am Bobby Cool Daddy Slick Breeze. I have my amazing co-hosts with me, Robert McCall and Eric Oakley. How are you
Yep.
gentlemen doing this evening?
Hey,
Good.
Good. Things
Ch-
are good. It was the
chilling.
first Monday after the time change. You guys adjusted for all the time change going on?
No, it
Dude,
was dark at 4:30.
time change is the most infuriating thing in the world to me. Like, it was made for one thing. We don't live in a society that, by and large, does that anymore, but we still keep the time change.
Yep.
All it does is make me mad at 5:30.
Yep.
I've done some research a while, like it's been a while, so I didn't do it recently, but I could have swore there's like an argument against it, which is because we used to do it for the harvest and things like for the harvest season when farming was a huge part of our society. But then there's something to do with the light, like it's conserving energy. I thought I read something about where someone had argued where we won't use lights as much if we do it this way.
Yeah, sounds like a good idea. But how about instead of that, we just
But
keep
not.
it the same? And then I use lights, and then it's not dark at 5 o'clock.
Well, here's
Right,
the
but
other
then
part.
but then you use up energy. Then you're using up all kinds of energy.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's fair.
All right. John Oliver, not to plug another
Robert doesn't
channel.
care about the world.
No,
John Oliver
I-
just did one on the power grid, and if we get to the point where we actually have more renewable, reusable, clean energy, it won't matter how much power we use because it's all very, very good. So if we get more like solar, wind, hydro, all those things, and more electric cars, maybe we can get rid of daylight savings.
Okay.
I hope that I live until daylight savings goes away and it's just regular time where you can do activities outside after 5 in
I mean,
November.
It would have to
Is
be
that
like
gonna-
it's like the entire country. Does Canada do the same thing, or are they just like, nah, we're good?
I don't know.
So you always hear people saying that I'm going to they're in their they're almost end of life and they're thinking I'm going to stay until my son
Something to
gets
live
out of-
for.
someone gets out of
Daylight
jail. I'm gonna
savings
wait
will be
till
that thing.
so and so gets married. Robert's
That's my
gonna be
thing
in
to
his
live
bed.
for.
Robert's gonna be in his bed going, I am going to hang on until they take away
Listen,
daylight savings.
I'm 105 years old and I won't leave until.
Also, another small tangent. If you ever have wanted to have the funniest, like, satirical conversation with Calvin Heimberg, ask him his thoughts on wind farming.
Oh, God.
I'm interested.
Because
Very interesting.
he said if people are harvesting the wind, we're eventually going to run out of wind, and I think that's the funniest thing I've ever heard. He mean Calvin's one of the smartest people I've ever met in my entire life, so he's not doing it as a bad thing. He's doing it as a satirical joke, and
That's funny.
Maybe I need to text him see if he can be on the show and
It's pure
tell us
quality.
about his wind farming. All right, so let's get into back to some disc golf. So we're here with episode 5. I think if someone told me, so I think we're good to go.
Pretty sure you said
Something I'm
6.
six.
Is it 6 or 5?
Pretty sure it's 6.
All right, let me pull a
It
note.
says
so I will not-
EP006 Disc Golf Answer Man as the title of this video.
I've since forgotten after typing it. So, all right.
Sorry.
So something I am super excited about is the disc golf vacation. If you've seen anything me post on the Facebook group, it's Tyler. Me and Tyler are going to work together to put together a big deal for next year disc golf vacations. We're looking at probably an all-inclusive resort getaway where we're going to have a one round of disc golf. We're going to have some clinics, disc golf workshops, and then see if I can try to figure out how do we get like a live disc golf answer man. We'll answer questions from the audience and we'll record it. So be on the lookout for more details on that. If you want to look right now, you can actually go to Facebook and look up disc golf vacations on Facebook, and there's a page that you can follow. That way you're up to date on all the information. I'll be working on a one-page website as well, so they'll have details for you. But it's in the very, very beginning stages, but we're looking to turn this into something really, really big. So stay tuned for stuff like that. In tournament talk, we have Chris Dickerson that won in a 3-way playoff at Myrtle Beach, and Katrina Allen that won in a playoff as well.
Yeah,
you guys-
Chris edged out two good players. Austin Turner, who, if you knew, he's 1024 rated, but he didn't tour much, but he's an absolute crazy good lefty. And Corey Ellis, so who's a bomber too.
Yeah,
Did
big
they have
place.
any coverage of that? I don't know. I didn't. I wasn't-
CCDG.
They did? Nice.
Mhm.
I'll have to go see if I can check that out and watch it.
Yeah.
I haven't watched any of that. And then, of course,
Cat
at the
beat Deanne, right?
Who?
Yeah, in a playoff as well.
Sorry, I'm interrupting you, Bobby. Is that good?
No, go for it. If you're not done, go for it.
No, you're good.
No, it's your show.
No, it's fine.
It's your show.
Is it
too.
his show?
It's your show too.
I'm
so,
pretty
you know.
sure it's yours.
Teasing. And on the VPO side, we have Cody Hatfield and Holland Handley.
She
Yep.
traveled out all the way out from California to go play VPO.
Yeah.
Balling.
Yeah.
Coda has won more tournaments than, not more than Brian Schweberger,
Who also won.
By the
Revolution.
way, yeah, won his, what did you say, Eric, 10,000th this weekend?
Yeah, 10,000th career win for Schweberger.
That sounds right. No,
314,
Coda,
actually.
yes, Coda's been doing it for a long time and winning for a long time. I'm very curious how many career wins he has. I'm going to check.
Go check real quick because he's an OG from back in the day when I first started. I remember filming him.
Yeah. 147 career wins.
Wow.
Similar amount to me. It's like pretty close.
Yeah, it's Coda. I remember coming up in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. Back in 2010, 2008, 2010, like in that stretch where I was playing golf around the area, I heard the name Cody Hatfield as like, oh, Cody Hatfield won this, Cody Hatfield did this, Cody Hatfield. And like when I finally got to meet him and see him play, I was just like, oh, this guy's just disgusting. He's so good. So it was really cool.
Yeah, he started playing, his last year to play advanced was 2004.
Crazy.
And he played some open that year and then it's just been cruising since. He's a baller.
Hey, Brody Smith in the chat.
Hey, Brody.
Thanks for the shout out, man. Appreciate the kind words and kill it this offseason, man. Keep going. Keep grinding.
Very, very cool. Very, very cool. Very, very cool. Now, I'm sure a lot of people are probably wondering, is Eric going to talk about what's going on? And we'll get to that here in a little bit. Of course, if you haven't.
And no, he's not.
And no, he's not. Yes. And so if you happen to miss it, he did make an announcement that there's some changes going on with his as far as his professional career when it comes to disc golf amateur man. And we will discuss that here in a little bit, but we want to get through a few things first. I think we should do a few questions. What do you guys think?
Yeah.
I'm in.
I'm in for questions. As always, send your questions into the discgolfamateurman.com website. There should be a little link that says submit your question. You can either submit it via SpeakPipe or Google form, and we will get it on the air. The first one comes from, we'll go with Caleb. Hey, y'all. I started my, why did I do that?
Whoa. Got that twang.
As soon as I got that, hey, y'all, then I couldn't stop. I started my off-season YouTube binge and was watching a video from Simon Lizotte where he and Casey, I'm assuming Casey White, correct?
Yeah.
Were playing mini disc golf in an empty parking lot with mini baskets. It was a silly video and a joy to watch, but one hole sparked a question for me. When marking your lie, you must remain behind the lie as you throw. There is an imaginary line drawn between your disc, which is perpendicular to the line of play. For one particular hole, there was a mando tree near the basket. If my lie is before a mando, does that make the mando my line of play? I think it's important to distinguish between line of play, where the fairway is pointed, and where the basket is located when assessing where to stand behind your disc. Thoughts?
Yeah, good question. So when there is a mando, the line of play only plays to the mando if you don't have a clear line of sight to the basket, right? So go with me on a journey here. Envision this. So straight in front of you, 200
Close
feet
your
away.
eyes.
Yeah. Visualize with me. 200 feet in front of you is a basket. If a mando exists on that hole and you have to play around it to get to the basket, like you have to go out of your way to get to the basket, then because you can't see the straight line to the basket, but you can see the basket, but you have to play around the mando, then the mando is your line of play. If a mando exists, but you can see the basket and you can play just your normal, like regular old straight shot to it, the basket is your line of play. So as long as the mando isn't, let's say it's a mando that you have to play to the left. As long as the mando isn't left of the basket from your perspective, you can play straight to the basket. But if it is, then the mando is your line of play.
Nailed it.
It's tough to show without being able to do it visually, but you catch my drift.
Can you do it with sounds?
Yeah, I just did that words.
Do it with no words, just sounds.
No.
Have you guys seen
No fun.
kids describing
you know what, Bobby?
colors?
I am no fun. That's true.
Have
What'd you
guys
say,
seen,
Eric?
Have you seen kids describing colors to blind people?
No, but that sounds awesome.
It's a YouTube video, and I think I saw one little clip, and the kid was like, "Have you ever seen a banana?" And the guy responded with, "No, I've never seen anything." And I was like, "Oh my god, kids are so funny, man. They just don't know, because they don't know." Wonderful.
By the way, you did catch me off guard when you said "I just did." I'm like, "Oh yeah, that is what talking
I just used sounds. You should clarify different sounds.
I know, a different sound, or I should have said color. To describe it with color.
Yeah. Okay.
Anyway, okay. Andrew has our next question. Fieldwork with neutral putters is widely recommended for improving your backhand, but how about forehand? Is it fundamentally valuable to be able to forehand a putter well, or is that more of a niche skill? Real quick, side note: is it niche or niche or niche or?
I was going to say you just said the same thing.
What do you say?
Is it niche or niche?
Yes, I know. Is it niche or niche? I know. I was.
Oh,
Is it skill or skill?
Tomato or tomato?
Is it niche or niche? That's the two.
Okay. I have
right.
always said niche. I have heard people trying to be fancy say niche.
Niche,
I'll solve this for us, Eric. Why don't you answer the question, and I'll solve this for us.
Okay, hold on. Another way, he still got more. In other words, should forehand field work include lots of time with neutral putters, or should it mainly focus on the forehand discs used on the course? Overstable approach, stable 7 speed, etc.
So I rebuilt my forehand 5 years ago from the ground up, and what I was doing is I wasn't really using putters necessarily, but I was using neutral mids and understable fairways, very understable fairways, to work on my forehand, and that was a big part of it. Having that putter like slower speed with I used at the time I was using an MD2. I currently use like a Claymore. And those were amazing discs for that type of shot because they're super neutral. So if I throw it on hyzer, if I throw it clean on a hyzer, it stays on that hyzer. If I snap it up, it'll pop up and go flat. So that's teaching me that I'm controlling the angle when working on my forehand. A putter can do the same, but a putter is more just like touchy. It's not the same as an actual throw. So I don't think it translates the same when throwing a forehand, especially that it's important, but do not work only with your overstable stuff, because that is a forehand that is easy to learn and easy to keep good. But when it comes to throwing a more diversified forehand, like the flip ups, the straight forehands, the easy stuff just to throw clean, that's a harder shot. A hyzer flip forehand is just as important as a hyzer flip backhand, in my opinion. So that would be my main focus. And basically what I did was I took a D-line FD, which is outrageously understable. It's basically a DX Leopard, but for Discmania at the time. Took that disc, threw that disc, and learned how to make that disc hyzer with a good amount of power, which took a lot of touch, no wobble, and that was exactly what allowed for me to build my forehand. Then I bumped up to like an S-line FD. I was using CD2s, and then now it's been able to, I've forehanded a Vandal the other day, just like 60% slight hyzer and beeline 350 dead straight. It was so sick. It's just like you can do these things with the right disc in your hand. You just have to allow it to work, and that's probably one of the best things you can do to work on your forehand in the field.
All right, so we have something brand new.
Hold on.
Trying.
Hold on. We have something important to talk about.
What?
So, Merriam-Webster has the first pronunciation as niche.
See, words aren't easy.
Pronunciation. I had a really bad one earlier today. I can't remember, but Shay called me out and then just made fun of me all day.
I wish you would have recorded it.
I know. Dang it. So the first one is niche, but it says also niche, or hold on. Let me go back to it.
Or niche.
No, or niche. So niche is incorrect.
Oh,
Niche or niche is the first one. Also niche or niche. And then
Very
someone
good.
in chat said, okay, so say the word niche or niche out loud, then say Friedrich Nietzsche. And that's not the same thing. But thank you, Reese, for the for the comment. Go ahead.
All right, so we're trying something new. I just posted on the Facebook group. I actually put a phone number. So if once we start talking or doing something, I might interrupt you guys and tell you we got a phone call because we're going to try this first time with
Your
the
phone's
disc
on
golf
during a
henchman.
podcast? What are you doing?
Well, I've got to get the phone call if they call.
I'm just saying, you're going to leave your
I'm just
phone
saying.
on
So
during
if you're answering a question, if I say, "Hey,
Hey, shut up.
got to call in," we're going to take the call. So first come, first serve with the phone calls. It's out on the Facebook group right now if you want to see it.
Can we
But
do
yeah.
the number 6 caller and just like hang up on the first 5? So you're the
Nope,
number 6
no,
caller.
no.
You get to
Nope. All right, nobody's called. Nobody's brave enough yet, so we'll have to wait and see. So we put in the chat as well. Do people in the chat want to call in?
No, they need to go to the Facebook. They need to subscribe to this channel. They need to follow us everywhere they're following, and we're not going to give them the easy way out and let them just like through a comment. Earn it.
That's Eric. That's what Eric said. All right, so let's go to the next question. This is from Steve Putters. I go through phases. Love the judge. Switch to the pig. Switch to the warden. Fell in love with Keystone. Now back to the pig. Is this something everyone goes through? I kill with a putter for a while, then it fails me. I kill with another for a while, then I am only about 2 years into the disc golf journey. Yes, sir.
Yes, Robert here. You have like neutral to medium overstable putters
we got a
for
phone
the
call.
most part.
We got a phone call.
Shut up, Robert.
Okay, we'll come back to that.
Hello. Hello? Yes. Who is this?
We can't hear it, Bobby.
You can't. Robert and Eric, you guys can't hear it?
No.
Oh, great. Okay, so I'll have to relay the question. Who is this again? Hey, what's up, Felix? How you doing, man?
What up, Felix?
I'm doing pretty good. What is your question for Eric and Robert and maybe myself? I don't know. We'll see. And Sebastian, who's in the back. So go.
The one who's breathing heavily in the back.
Oh, that's interesting. So, first, you want to know Sebastian's favorite treat. Now, I would have to say those filled bones, those little filled doggy bones that have the little peanut butter in the middle. He just goes crazy for that.
Nice.
The second thing he says is he wishes Eric you the best of luck on your future and wants to know what do you think will be the most challenging shot to replace as you go forward?
Well, Felix, what up? I honestly, that's a really tough question because I think the hardest thing is going to be dialing in a good putter. I have, and this will relay into our question for Steve, which is great. But I have changed putters often. More often than people like to joke about it back in the day that I just changed putters every week. The whole team, Warden, Marshall, Guard, back to Warden, then to Faith's conversation. But I think that's going to be the hardest thing to lock in because I did put in so much time with the feel of the classic plastic from Dynamic and Latitude that I think putting is going to be the harder part, especially longer distance putting. But we'll see how it all plays out. I got a basket in the backyard, and if I just go get a lot of reps in and just go play a lot of golf, I think that'll come in pretty quick. But I think that one's going to be the nuances of putting. Like, you can throw a longer putt and trust it, but you might not fully understand when the putt is going to break, if it's going to hold, when it's going to come out, that kind of stuff.
Right. Yeah. Excellent question, Felix. Thanks for calling in.
Felix. Yeah, appreciate it. So
we'll circle back to Steve's question. Oh, you still got Felix, or are you good?
Yeah, I'm gonna just say thank you again, Felix, for calling, and we'll talk to you maybe on another show.
Bye, Felix.
Bye.
Okay, so back to Steve's question. We were talking about putters. It's interesting to me that you went Judge, Pig, Warden, Keystone, Pig, because the Pig is wildly overstable compared.
It doesn't glide.
to the other ones.
On a
So
slow speed.
yeah, that's a really, that's a strange combo. Having that said, yes, that is something that a lot of people go through. But here's what I think is really going on with you. It's not the putter failing you. And I hate to give it to you this way, but the putter by and large stays very similar. We tend to change from day to day, week to week, month to month when we play. Okay. So when you switch to a new putter, there's something that's magic about it, right? It feels like you can make everything. And the reason for that is you have this new confidence, right? That, oh, look, I found the perfect fit. Now I'm going to make all these putts. And then you do, but then you start to miss a little and then you start to doubt yourself. And that is the problem. Okay. Putting is about confidence. It's about finding the putter that works for you, or at least that works best for your stroke, and then just being confident with it. So if that's a pig, that's fine, but stick with the pig. When you do all the switching, your mind goes away from, I guess, the stress of putting, and you're just naturally throwing the disc in the basket, which is great. Like, it's a great feeling, but it's unsustainable to do that all the time, to switch to a new putter every week. You want to get that consistency. And so I'm just going to be real. I'm going to keep it real, Steve. The putters are not failing you. You are failing the putters. Confidence is the most important thing in putting. That's what you need to work on the most.
Wow. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Because I made a few changes, so maybe the next person that calls in, you should be able to hear. We'll see.
Cool.
Go ahead,
I want to point something out. Is like, when I've had my ebbs and flows in putting, and I've gone as far as had issues that I was pulling my putt. So I would draw back a little bit more with hyzer, so I wasn't pulling my putt, and it was keeping the disc, and it was swinging into the chains a little bit more. And then I was missing a lot left side, and I was coming out with too much hyzer, so I was drawing back on an anhyzer. And that would change day to day. That would change round to round. That would change month to month. Like that, I never knew when I was going to need to adjust my putt. But try little nuances that'll help you figure out, because it could be as simple of you're firing late, so you're not even getting any energy from your lower body in your putt, or you're firing too early. Those kinds of things that I think is a really common factor. And it's just like sometimes you suck. And you need to be the best suck you can be on that day to get through it, and then you could go out that afternoon and be a putting god. So I think those are things to remember, is that it's just sometimes the game is hard.
Yeah, and switching putters just puts a Band-Aid on it. It doesn't fix the long-term problem.
Bam.
And it's cool for a little bit. That's fine, but once you lose that confidence, then sorry, bye.
Nice.
Bobby, I feel like it's time.
You think it's time?
It is time.
It is time. So, as you guys know, Eric Oakley made a huge announcement today about some changes going on. So hopefully you've seen that video. If you haven't seen that video, Eric, you want to give us a quick little synopsis of what happened?
Yeah. So I talked about the off season and what was going on. I've been working a lot on my physical, mental, and overall disc golf game, and talked a lot about what it's meant to be a touring professional and how amazing it's been, and the amazing opportunities I've had. And it's been, a big part of that has been Dynamic Discs, and they've created a lot of great opportunities. Big thing is the Lucid XFL, and still a very, very amazing opportunity to have my name on a disc, which is amazing. And to be honest with you, I think it's one of the best overstable fairway drivers that has been produced in our game. Rivaling, the Firebird. The Raptor came afterwards and has been, a mainstay in that regard. So it's a really cool to be a part of that category of discs. And then we talked quite a bit about what the future actually looks like. And Dynamic Discs and I will no longer be working together. And it's a business decision. It's one of those situations where, I think both parties wanted to make it work, but and when it comes down to it, it's all business, and moving onwards, it was the best course of action. And I have had some conversations since figuring out that was the game plan, and I do believe that the future is bright. That's not just me saying that just to be a positive person. That is actually a very true statement. I believe that the future actually is going to be very good. I feel as if I'm moving onward in the right capacity to be a part of disc golf. It was the right thing to do. And as much as it sucks, it's what needed to happen for both of us if I want to continue to grow and blossom and be the disc golfer I wanted to be, I needed to go elsewhere. And I think that's kind of, we all understood that. So here I am, and I'm ready to take that leap.
There you go. And we had a few people. I put out a question on the Facebook Disc Golf Answer Man group, and you kind of touch base. I mean, some people were like, are you nervous about it? Can we expect the next update? Because you're not, certainly like you mentioned, you're not leaving disc golf. You're just going a different path. So what can you say to that as far as what you have planned for the off season, and when we can expect any sort of update as far as what you got going on?
No set plan on that, but with what I've been talking about with scans of DGPM is that we're in a place we kind of wanted to see how today went before we started to, really kind of push that envelope and see what happens from here. And I think that, as I've said, the future is very bright, and I think we're going to be able to, push out what that next chapter actually is sooner rather than later. And I think it would be a good thing, because get the people hyped, get things kind of lined up, and make some really cool stuff happen. So yeah, I think it's going to be good. And I don't know. I genuinely think that the idea and the excitement of throwing new plastic is really cool. It's something that Tina and I talk about, is like whenever we got prototypes or new discs from being with DD, is I would throw it 3 times and I would know immediately what that disc cannot do within those throws. And Tina would need to throw it a little bit more around. And she just said, she's like, I loved watching and seeing that. And I love doing that because, it's quickly about like, okay, what does this do differently than what's already in my bag? And how can I make it, what hole on what course would this make me a better player, or will it not? Or will it, does this disc already do that? And is it better? That kind of stuff. So I get really excited about that. It's like a little bit of like a min-max culture. I don't know if like Robert, you might know about this. Bobby probably has no idea, but like min-maxing in video games is like one of my favorite things, especially in World of Warcraft. Like that's like why I keep playing that game is min-maxing. And so just like I'll be able to min-max my bag with being able to try new plastic and make the most of it.
Yeah, there's something really cool, and like this is a weird thing to say because it's like not. I mean, what you've been thinking and whether this was going to go one way or another, but when you've been a sponsored player for a long time and you switch companies, learning new plastic is really exciting in its own way. Like you know that it's going to be difficult because for the most part, most of the discs that you're throwing are new to you. But there's something really cool about kind of rediscovering the game like that.
Yeah.
For me, that's kind of, I don't know, it just made me excited about disc golf again. I'm still not getting to play a whole lot. But the times that I've played, it's like, dude, this is a blast. And I'm trying discs I haven't tried either in a long time or at all. And it's really fun. So like, yes, obviously there are huge benefits to being sponsored by one disc golf company with their own line, because when a prototype comes out, this is in the bag or this is not, but you already have kind of a lexicon of discs that you can pick from, and then you just kind of just drop one in here and there. Well, now it's like it's a whole new thing. And that's a cool, like, that's an exciting thought.
It's really cool.
So wherever, I mean, in my opinion, and I don't think I'm jumping too far when I say this, but you will end up with a sponsor, wherever that ends up being. I'm stoked for you. Nice. Like, coming from Dynamic Disc, Bobby and I both were there for a time. Bobby quite a bit longer than me, but leaving was difficult. We really like the people there, and think that they make quality discs, and so. Yeah, like you said, tough to leave. I think that everybody's going to have a tough time and then move on, but excited for you to try new stuff. And just as a player, it's fun to do that.
I'm pumped. I'm really pumped. There's going to be the couple tournaments early on next year. And hopefully there's plenty of tournaments in the South that I could probably play leading up to the tournament if I wanted to, just depending on how I'm feeling. But I know, like, I'm going to go out to Vegas. I'm going to rip a distance driver on a hole, and it's going to like either like stable out and maybe go OB, or like turn over and go into some bushes or go OB or something like that. But I'm going to be like, I didn't know that was going to happen, because I don't know the nuances of the discs as much as I did with the I knew that the threshold of what an enforcer can do and what a raider could do. I learned that from just the sheer amount of time and throwing and making mistakes. So that will happen, but opening up to these new things, I'll probably have filled holes in my bag with a new disc or something that I didn't even know I could throw that type of shot, like that line, that whatever that is. So whatever lineups I end up working with, it's gonna be awesome. I'm excited.
Yeah, I think it's a little bit easier to start the season with a new sponsor, just the way that tournaments are set up, because by and large, this has been in years past. But yeah, you're playing mostly open courses.
Yeah,
you can.
Waco, 9 holes at Waco. It's like
you're gonna have a tough time. Yeah,
and also, but 9 holes at Waco also. Dreamland.
Yeah. I mean, this is an overgeneralization for sure, but in the open with new discs, you can kind of fake it till you make it.
Yeah.
You've got an overstable distance driver, an overstable 100%. Fairway driver, whatever that is. You can kind of get around giving yourself, what used to be a 10-footer is now a 30-footer. But once you get in the woods, you really want to have dialed those in. So yeah, I think it's a good time to be able to learn some new things.
I'm excited. Just I think that's what I said it in my video, and I truly mean it. And it sucks to leave a company, but if two people can't get on the same page, that like just sticking around is bad for both people. It's like I think I had conversations with Bobby where he's like family, and it's sometimes it's better to move on before more love is lost. And I think that was kind of something that was lingering in the back of my head whenever we were having conversations that maybe it is the end. But we definitely had a lot of conversations with Rusco, with EMAC, with Gabe about all of it. So it was there was a lot of fight going for it, but this is the direction, and let's make the most of it.
Yep, time to turn the page and start a new chapter.
Yeah,
that's what life is all about. The biggest quote I always love seeing is, the only thing that is permanent is change. I need music or something like that. Wait, can you hear the crowd watch?
Yeah,
nice.
That was for my quote.
That was for yourself.
That was for myself. Yeah.
Self-applause.
Did you guys hear it really good that time?
Yeah, we can hear that.
We can hear it fine.
Okay, so I've got the settings correct now. That I had to adjust settings. So, and if someone wants to call in right now, they can, and you guys would be able to hear it as well. So, all right. So there's something I posted on the Facebook group, a question to get people's thoughts on it. And I want to get your all's opinion on it. And we got all kinds of different answers. I'm going to give some people's input that they gave first, and then you guys can give your input. But the question I posed to everybody was, let me find it. If I were to tell you not to aim for the basket on your drive, what would that mean? And I got 80 comments. This really got people talking. A lot of people were talking about the fate of the disc. Some people said that I was crazy. Some people said that were you telling me to aim for the tree? But what are your all thoughts? Oh, we got a call. Hold on.
All right, shut up.
Shut up. No one's talking. There we go.
Was that the ringtone?
Hello, you're on the line with Disc Golf Answer Man. How are you?
What's up, Bobby Cool Daddy Slick Breeze? This is Chaser.
Hey, what's up, man? Hey, I get to hear from you. Nice.
Hey, guys. So my first question is to Robert. You look awesome today, man. Did you do something with your hair?
Thank you. I did. It's special for today.
The thing is, he always does something for his hair.
That's right.
I thought so.
No days
my
off.
question for you is for Eric.
Hey-o.
I'm actually running a clinic for newbies on Saturday.
Okay.
I got 3 hours allocated. It's at a pitch and putt course. It's a great venue. I was just curious if you had brand new players, people who half the people coming don't even have a disc. I got a sponsor to supply discs for everybody. How would you allocate the time? Would you do an hour for each, putting, upshot, driving, or throwing is obviously more fun? Would you give that a little more time? So I'm curious, how would you break down the clinic with that much time allocated?
I would put an hour to teaching and another hour and a half to playing and letting people play. And then if you wanted to, you could dial in like the last 30 minutes or so to just like give some people some reminders, give some people some tips as you watch them play, things that you saw people do well, things you saw people do not that well, but giving them a good crash course and getting them out there and throwing is the best thing you can do. And, I think that's what's going to hook people more, especially if they're all very new beginners. But you still want to teach them, etiquette and how to throw a disc at least somewhat straight so they can at least enjoy their time. And I would put some time in so they understand the different ways to throw, and then just let them get after it, and then wrap up with, a couple more things. So if they do decide to go work on it, they have a little bit more extra knowledge on how to do it.
Cool. Thank you very much. Yeah. Thanks for the tip, man.
Of course.
Absolutely. Thanks for calling in, man. Appreciate it.
Bye, Chaser. See you in the chat.
All right.
Bye.
All right. There you go. Live advice from Eric Oakley and Robert McCall, whether it's on hair or running a tournament. We're
See,
here for you.
this should Robert should do this so
no
they can
advice.
call McCall.
Call McCall.
Yeah, that's right. I'll
we just
censor
get-
these calls way better.
What if it's Colin McCollin? No.
Oh,
what?
McCallin and McCulkin?
McCollin and McCulkey call-in show.
That's like, I know that. Well, I don't know if Tyler's still in the chat, but in their question and answer live podcast, they talked about from Arrested Development, Bob Loblaw's Law
Oh, yes.
Blog. That's what made me think of that just now.
Blah, blah, blah.
Colin
Colin
McCall.
McCall.
So my question earlier, if I say don't aim for the basket when you drive
Right.
off your drive or off the tee pad, what does that mean to you? Oh, we have another phone call.
Shut up!
Everybody shut up. Shut up. Hello, you're live with Disc Golf Answer Man. How can I help you?
Hey guys, my name is Ray. I had a question for the host.
Well,
Yeah.
well, there's three of us, so you're gonna have to be more specific.
All right, I'll take the pretty one.
Okay, that's for me.
I'd like
What
to
can I
talk
do
to-
for you?
All right, listen, I hear that you're throwing shade about my accent. I had like, I don't know, 16 or 17 mates call me up and send me a message, saying that, hey, you catch Bobby post? And I had to check it out. Looked like you had like a better accent than me, that my accent was stupid or something. I don't know. I didn't read the whole thing. Just
No.
blocked most of your social accounts.
No,
right off.
I think your southern accent sounds amazing. Are you from Texas or Kansas or?
No, see, but you did get it right because I'm from Perth, which is the south side of Australia. So I do appreciate you, being able to pick up on that at least.
Australia?
But I thought, so
Not Sweden?
Yeah, Australia.
I'm picking up a little bit of Sweden. No, okay, sorry.
So you were making fun of me then?
No, I
This
don't.
whole thing is.
He was.
This whole
He
thing
was.
is
Okay,
Got
yes,
him.
I was.
Got
I
him.
was.
Yep. You got him. All right. It's fine. I just wanted to know.
Whoa, you changed it
I
up
don't
on
even-
us too. That's talented. I like that. Went from Australian
I
to
don't.
no.
Like. Listen, guys. I don't even mind. Like if you're making fun of me or if we're friends. I just need to know.
Well, we're certainly not friends,
know,
so we'll go with the making fun of part.
Okay. Okay, that's fine. Now, like we've got a category, so I know where we stand.
A kid in where?
Bobby, did you receive the pipeline I sent?
The who?
Yeah,
the
did you get?
and-
He sent you a frisbee.
Eric, have you
Mhm.
told everybody about joining Team DGA, or is tonight just like the
So
Is it
somebody
been like
somebody
the
put in a
recap of it
comment,
tonight?
and I saw. I think it was my favorite hashtag was Buoy Boys. What is that about?
yes? I can't tell you about that until you join the team.
Oh,
But let
so
me
it's
know
like
when
a.
you're ready to. It's like a secret club. Let me know when you're ready to announce it, and I've got the video. It's unlisted right now. We'll go ahead and kick it out. Whenever you're ready.
Oh man.
We'll have to make
Too
the video
funny.
and probably saying something. All right, guys. Have a good night. Bobby.
Cheers,
take
Ray.
you stupid face. Okay.
Hey,
Thanks,
you as
guys.
well. Feelings mutual. Thank you.
All right.
Appreciate it. Yeah. Okay.
All right. Love you.
All right. So that was yes, Robert. You're probably gonna need the screen calls better than I do. So
Yeah. We're gonna need to give me the phone ASAP.
right.
Call
yeah,
the call.
yeah. All right. So back to my question.
Back to if I told you when you're throwing, don't throw at the basket.
Correct.
Yeah, I mean, I think it is a common beginner mistake to only think about the basket as a target. But how many truly straight shots are you throwing in a round of disc golf? Not that many. Some,
Yeah.
but mostly approach shots. I mean, for me, the basket is not going to be my target unless I'm inside, 250 or 300 feet, and I have to throw the disc as straight as I possibly can.
Mm-hmm.
Otherwise, I want to be as familiar with my discs as I can be, and then I want to pick a target that is at the apex of the flight that I'm going to throw. So if I'm throwing a big hyzer out and around a tree, I'm picking, like the top leaf that I want to throw just over on the tree. And that's my aiming point. I'm not looking at the basket. I'm thinking about where is the peak of the flight that I'm throwing. Same thing goes for an anhyzer. As far out to the left as I'm going to throw it, I'm picking a target over there. So when I get ready to throw on the tee pad, I don't look at the basket. I think, what's my target? And I pick a physical target to look at and think about while I'm throwing.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, unless it's an approach, I'm not throwing at the basket. I'm throwing for a shape to get to the basket most of the time, or at least try to.
Exactly. So is this
Eric, what do you do?
Oh, okay.
Low key.
Sorry.
I
No,
have
you're
learned. When I learned to throw straight, like more recently, like got good enough to throw a disc a longer distance really straight. Like I just do that just because it's fun. Like I really.
Oh yeah, just
stop throwing hyzers and just beeline at the basket. When I started bagging Explorers and I got a good couple Emacs, like that shot became like doable, and I was like, this game is so sick. So I started doing that. But when it comes down to a tournament, it's kind of this similar process to Robert. It's like understand how your discs work, try swinging wider, try throwing higher, try putting on different swing points to where that they're going to track back. And keeping in mind, I think one common thing that isn't talked about is 30 feet to the right of the basket generally is the same 30 feet left to the basket unless there's trees. So an open basket, an open field, nothing, no OB or anything, 30 feet right is the same as 30 feet left. 30 feet long is the same as 30 feet short. But generally, the shot that was going 30 feet long probably might have had a chance to go in. So that's why I try and aim a little bit longer on my approaches, because I don't want to leave it short unless there's danger. And then also not necessarily having to land it so close to the basket, but give myself a bigger circle to land it in. So even if I miss the apex point, I'm going to be left of the basket, but I'm only going to be left 25 feet, which is still a putt to make.
Yep. Like it.
Perfect. All right, one last thing we'll discuss, and that is a question sent in by Frank DeVries.
That's what I would have said,
DeVries. All right, so he brought up a question about Paul MacBeth. What's your opinion on Paul skipping the first new major? Does that say anything about the event and how Paul feels about match play? So I guess that's a big deal. A new major coming up where they're doing match play. I copied and pasted this question over and didn't realize what they were talking about. And you guys kind of gave me a little bit of information on it. What was the information you guys got on it, on what this is?
So I, by saying this, and should have done a little bit more research, from what I understand, it's a 3-round tournament that ends with match play to finish. And it's you have to finish in a certain number of players to play in that said match play. And also within that, but I don't know the exact rules on it because I don't know if much has been brought out about it, but say a player is winning by a certain amount of strokes, when they go to match play, they are supposed to still have some sort of advantage going into match play, from what I understand, to make it to the point where if Paul were to show up and is winning by 12 going into the finals, it's not likely that he loses outright in like the first round of the match play because it's just straight up match play, because it would really suck to be up, say 20 on the person. Say it's like first place and 8th place and he's up 20 on that person, because there are tournaments where first place to 8th place is that kind of number. Not as much anymore, but that does happen, where it would be that's just not great. And then the 8th seed knocks off the 1 seed, and all the 54 holes that were played before are kind of for naught. That doesn't feel great. So I think that because of a lack of information that has gone out, and another thing that could be said, again, pure speculation, is this might be a statement to the PDGA. And I say that as it could be just hey, I'm not ready to support. I want to put my support towards the Pro Tour. I might not necessarily want to put more efforts and energy towards what the PDGA is doing. Because it does feel like a little bit of a grab at staying relevant when when talking about a major. I think a major should just be a 4 to 5 round tournament at a high level event, a venue that has that major feel. And I think it should be the Players Cup. It should rotate from a place like Ledgestone, MVP, and potentially even like Emporia as places that can host majors every single year. And maybe you do a year, and that rotates every 3 years. You go to these locations, that's where the major is, and you just play a couple extra rounds at those courses and crown the players champion, or things like that. That was what I had in mind as a person and as a player. I'd be more excited about that than I would be about what the Champions Cup is currently showing. Now, new formats have actually shown to be incredibly good. Make this be long-winded, but what we've seen with the Disc Golf Pro Tour finale, Missy Gannon, Nathan Queen, talk about amazing content to take in the disc golf world. So it's hard to knock it before we actually try it. But again, if we're talking major, I would much rather it just be straight up disc golf. And let's go just see who the best player is.
Yeah, just a little bit of information about who's invited. So it's called the Champions Cup. So if you won, it looks like either an NT or a Pro Tour or major, including MP40 and FP40 winners at Masters Worlds. Those people are all invited. So that's the first tier of invitees. They're capping the field at 100 MPO players, 40 FPO players, and then it's tiered registration after that. So open registration, the limits for men is 980, and for FPO is 890. But I bet it'll be full by then, if I had to guess. So anyway, just a little bit of information about it. Diamond a Dozen in the chat said Paul's also skipping the first Pro Tour. So I mean, maybe there's a reason behind it. Like Eric said, maybe it's to make a statement about it, but it also may just be that he's got other stuff going on that he had planned ahead of time. I don't know.
Totally. Paul MacBeth Foundation is probably going to occupy a good amount of his time.
Yep.
And also Vegas likely will still be 3 courses, and they don't seem to want to switch on that. I'm probably still going to play because it's a great place to start the season if you take care of your fingers, because it's like easy to get a lot of blisters out there. But that has been a common sore point amongst the touring community, is that why the heck do we keep coming out here and have to practice 54 holes on big open bomber courses that we're only going to play one of the courses twice, when in reality there's probably only 36 good holes out of the 54. So just put us on those 36 good holes. Now, I understand that the Las Vegas Challenge is not only for the pros. So that's something to remember, that they are also trying to fit the amateurs in, and lots and lots of amateurs into this event. So it happens, but they've always run a quality event. Now, again, if the thing that I'm going to nitpick the most is like, oh, we have to play 3 courses, but I can't really complain about much else, fine. Then that is what it is. It's the only tournament that we play 3 courses throughout the entire season. So, yeah, whatever.
Yeah. All right, guys. Well, that's all we have time for our regular show. Appreciate you tuning in. Make sure that you are subscribed, because I've got a lot of good conversations coming up with myself. Yeah, just me talking to myself. Just basically conversations just with myself.
We'll be the judge of if those are good or not.
I probably should have thought through that little tagline there. No, I got Chris Clemens, who just booked a conversation with me. We're going to record this Wednesday.
Nice.
He has got some cool things going on for the year, for the end of the year, and then going into the new year. And then there's some other ones scheduled with, one went out to this morning. Paul from T-Box Disc Golf. I had a conversation with him. And then I had a conversation with the gentleman from Pacific Upshot Consulting, John Bergerno. I believe that's how you pronounce it. Mm-hmm. Anyway, he saw the need to help people with consulting as far as getting a course design in their area, but most importantly, like, how do I even get it started? How do I go from an idea to, I think this park would make a great disc golf course, to reaching out to the municipalities, to figuring all that out, how to market and promote your course. And so I had a conversation with him I believe that is scheduled for next Monday. So make
Awesome.
sure you are subscribed. So some good stuff. I'm going to be reaching out to a few other people that are in the disc golf world that work in disc golf and making disc golf amazing. So subscribe. And we're going to end this, and then we're going to do a quick two questions. The new game I want to play with Robert and Eric called 7 Seconds. I'm going to pose a question to them, and they each have 7 seconds to give me an answer. We're going to do that for our Patreon listeners. So make sure you're subscribed on Patreon. Go to patreon.com/DGAM. Become a DGAMmer, and you can get access to some of these bonus little fun things we like to do. All good, guys?
It's not delivery, it's Bergerno.
just not close.
Oh, Chaser,
That's
well
so
done, my friend.
That's a huge one to end the show on.
That was
Huge
so
done.
good, Chaser. Thank
John,
you so much for that. Bergerno.
Bonanza.
Bonanza. All right, guys. We'll see you on the next episode.